We all complain about our commute, right? The traffic, the time it takes, but what if I told you it's actually giving you a massive pay cut? And I'm not just talking about gas money. I'm talking about a real, quantifiable drop in what you actually make per hour. So let's dig in and figure out the true financial impact of that trip to work.
All right, to really get this, let's look at an example. Meet James. Now on paper, James is doing pretty well for himself. He's making a solid $30 an hour. That's a good wage. He's got his finances all figured out, or, so he thinks. Because there's something lurking in his budget he's not seeing.
Okay, get ready for this because it's a shocker. James thinks he's making that $30 an hour, but when you actually factor in his commute, his real effective wage plummets to just $15.75. Yeah, you heard that right. It's almost cut in half. So how on earth is that even possible?
And I bet that's exactly what you're asking right now. How is this possible? Where did all that money just disappear? Well, stick with me. We're going to break down all of these hidden costs one by one and show you exactly how it all happens.
All right, first up, let's talk about the biggest cost, and it's the one most of us just completely ignore: our time. I'm talking about all that unpaid time you spend just getting to your job. Seriously, think about it. If you have to do it for work, aren't you basically working for free?
I mean, really think about that. Your workday doesn't really start when you clock in, does it? Nope. It starts the second you leave your house. Your company might only pay you for those 8 hours, but your real-time commitment to them begins the moment you grab your keys and head out the door.
And man, does this time add up fast. Let's look at James. He has a 2-hour round-trip commute. That's 10 extra work hours a week. Per month, that's 40 hours. That's a whole extra work week he's putting in, completely for free. And over a year, we're talking 480 hours. Just gone. It's insane when you see it laid out like that.
Okay, so unpaid time is a big one. Now let's move on to something a little more, obvious. The direct expenses. This is the cold, hard cash that's literally leaving your bank account just for the privilege of going to the office.
Yeah, we all think about gas, right? And maybe you pay for parking or tolls. But it goes so much deeper. Did you know your car insurance can be higher just because you commute? And what about all the wear and tear? Every single mile you drive means you're closer to needing new tires, new brakes, another oil change. And then there's the silent killer, depreciation. Your car is literally worth less every single time you pull out of the driveway. So for our guy, James, this stuff really adds up. We're looking at about $200 a month on gas, another $150 for maintenance and tires, and then you tack on another $100 for insurance and fees. That's $450 every single month, just gone.
Okay, this next one it's a little more subtle, but it might be the most powerful one of all. We're calling it exhaustion spending. See, this isn't about the money you spend on your commute. It's about the money you spend because of your commute. It's the price of being just too dang tired to function. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. You finally walk in the door after sitting in traffic, you're drained, and the idea of cooking a meal from scratch feels like climbing Mount Everest. So what do? You grab your phone, you open an app, and boom, dinner's on the way. That single decision, made because you're wiped out, it costs real money.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Ordering a pizza just feels necessary. It's not a treat at that point. It's not really a choice. It feels like a survival tactic. It's how you cope with a day that was already too long before you even got home.
And for James, this little habit is costing him an extra $300 a month. Think about that. $300 disappearing from his bank account, not because he's living it up, but just because he's too tired from his commute to cook dinner.
All right, it's time for the big reveal. We've got our 3 hidden costs, right? Unpaid time, direct cash expenses, and that sneaky exhaustion spending. Now, let's put all the pieces together and see what James really makes per hour.
So, to get to our final number, we first need to figure out 2 key things. First, how much he makes in a month before taxes. And second, and this is the important part, how many hours he actually dedicates to his job, and that absolutely includes his commute time.
Okay, the math here is pretty simple. His gross pay is $4,800 a month. Easy enough. But, and here's the kicker, he's not just working 160 hours a month. When you add in that commute, he's actually putting in 200 hours. And that 200, that's the number that changes everything. Okay, now for the next step. We're going to take that gross pay, and we're going to start chipping away at it by subtracting all the money his commute is costing him directly. This will show us his true pay for the month. So let's add it all up. We've got that $450 in direct costs. Gas, maintenance, the whole deal. Then we add the $300 he's spending on takeout because he's too tired. That's a grand total of $750. Just poof, gone. Every single month, all thanks to his commute.
All right, here we go. The final calculation, step by step. We start with his gross pay of $4,800. We take away the $750 in commute costs. That leaves him with a true monthly pay of $4,050. Now, for the final move, we divide that number by the 200 total hours he's actually putting in.
And there it is, $20.25. That is what James is actually earning for every hour of his time. It's a long, long way from the $30 an hour he thought he was making. Wow. His commute is literally costing him almost $10 an hour. So look, this whole thing isn't really about James, is it? It's about you. This same math applies to pretty much anyone with a commute. The real reason we're going through this is to get you to think about your numbers. It's time to stop ignoring these costs and figure out what your commute is really costing you.
At the end of the day, here's the big takeaway. Your commute isn't just a trip from point A to point B. It is an active, expensive, and unpaid extension of your workday. It just is. And just realizing that, just accepting that simple fact, is the first step to figuring out what to do about it.
So, I'll leave you with this one big question to chew on. After you strip away all the hidden costs, after you account for all that unpaid time, what is 1 hour of your precious, finite life really worth?